Hey everybody, it's Shamika. Thank you guys for tuning in. Please like, subscribe, and share my videos. I appreciate your support. So I am going to do something different, y'all. I am going to try to do this picture-in-picture thing. I wanted to be able to show y'all some of the articles that I read. As a matter of fact, I want to show y'all all the articles I read so that I can make better videos for you guys, so that I'm not just talking to you, you can actually look at something. Okay, so if you are new to my channel, hey, please be ready for the gems I'm going to drop, because I'm always dropping a gem, and I promise there is not one video you will watch of mine that you will not walk away knowing something that you did not already know. I definitely pride myself on that, and I am not changing a day. Okay, so I am going to talk about in this video one of these little tactics that the Democrats, or basically anybody in the political arena, are going to try to use against us. Okay, so I'm going to get ready to bring up the screen. I just wanted to say hey, and hope you guys like this, and let me know in the comments, do y'all like this new format? Just stay tuned, I'm going to show you, but let me know what y'all think about me putting it in this format. Okay, so basically, let me show y'all and let me get these things out of here. Okay, all right, so give me a second. If y'all didn't know, I hate pop-ups, and if you get pop-ups that are like built into the ads or the news articles, I always just let the ad do whatever it's going to do, because at some point it's going to eventually show an X on the screen and then get it out of here. I hate things that come up that are sent to distract us. So, okay, so we are going to keep our eyes on the prize. And let me tell you what they're trying to do. So this article, and believe me, I do not want to read this to y'all, because I know y'all got eyes and can read for yourselves, but I do have to read certain parts. So bear with me. I am not trying you, okay? I am just trying to get the point across. Hold on, let me get this one out of here too, because I can't stand these ads. All right. Now, it says credit scores of millions could be improved by Biden plan. All right. So y'all know it is getting ready for or upcoming 2024 election season is happening. It's getting ready. If y'all haven't already watched the Republican debates, they already had that. They are getting ready to start throwing things at us, and they're going to play on our emotions. And I saw this article and it made me mad, but it also made me happy. So, and y'all see how I'm just clicking all these ads out here? They are just ridiculous. And don't click on the stop seeing this ad or why. Don't do it. Okay. Why? Is because they're tracking and looking at everything we click on. So they're putting up ads. And yes, I did segue, but I just want you guys to know. And then I don't click to stop seeing this ad, because it basically takes you way off course. You'll forget what you came to do in the first place. So just click them off and don't do anything else. All right. So let me make this just a little bigger here. All right. So basically it's saying that what Biden is trying to do, he is proposing a new measure or deal that it says that will prevent unpaid medical bills from showing up on Americans' credit reports used by creditors when evaluating borrowers' credit applications and making underwriting decisions. Well, first of all, let me capture the truth and a lie. All right. So first of all, the truth is that underwriters don't count medical bills into a decision when it comes to purchasing a home. So if you are going to purchase a home, okay, and y'all know we talk about that all the time. If you are planning on buying a home, please know that you can go into a decision, or you can go into a bank with great credit. You can have a 640 or better, have no charge-offs, have no collections that are utilities, but still have medical bills, and you could still get a loan, because medical bills are not factored into the credit rating decision when you are purchasing a house. Okay, so that part is true. Okay, another part that is true is that it says that your credit reports, are used by creditors when evaluating borrowers' credit applications. Okay, that is also true. But what I want you guys to understand is when it comes to credit, depending on what you are applying for, it makes a difference on if those medical bills are factored into it. Okay. So you heard me just say that if you are trying to buy a home, they do not factor medical bills into the decision if they're going to give you a home or not, because the government said we are not going to allow that to be played as a decision whether someone can get a house. All right. But if you're trying to get a credit card, that's the bank. The bank can definitely hold it against you. If you are trying to get an apartment and you have unpaid medical bills and they are now collections, that can be used against you. So they aren't really specifying the difference. They're making you think that medical bills are going to be factored into every decision when it comes to credit applications, and that is not true. Okay, so that's the part that I wanted to be to make it clear. That's why I want to take this a little bit by bit, because some of this stuff is a little misleading, and I want to make sure that I give you guys the accurate information. Okay, it says that the proposal is going to be finalized by the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. That is the CFPB. If y'all watch any of those TikTok videos where it's telling you how you can go and get some of these items removed from your credit, you would go to this CFPB website and you would make a complaint, and then it would do a dispute. This is that CFPB that you see in those videos. And I'm sure you guys probably know what I'm talking about, but if you haven't, I'm sure that your computer's listening, and now when you go on TikTok, you will now see that video. But if you ever see someone writing getting things deleted in a different way than just going through the credit bureaus, they are going to the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. All right. So just so you knew who they were and what they do. Okay. CFPB says that this will help in coercive debt collection tactics, clean up inaccurate data, and improve credit score predictiveness. Well, let's break that down. It would help in coercive debt collections. Well, I don't believe that. If you stop reporting medical collections on credit reports, that doesn't mean that they're not going to pursue an individual for the debt. They still have to pay it. So that part is not necessarily true, because debt collection tactics are still going to take place. The only difference is that these companies can't weaponize your medical bills or your unpaid medical bills against you by placing it on your credit report. That is the only difference. Okay, so this part also is not true, because the debt collection tactics will not stop. They're still going to be able to call you. They're still going to be able to send you bail. They're still going to be able to send you text messages. And yes, if you have not missed paying a bill and see if you don't get a text message saying, hey, did you forget something? They're texting you now. Okay, it says it will clean up inaccurate data. How will that do that? Okay, now I'm not saying that preventing them from being reported on your credit doesn't clean up inaccurate data, because it will if you have bills that are on your report that shouldn't be there. So most medical collections that are on individuals' credit reports, there are probably more that are correct than there are incorrect. Okay. So although they're trying to champion this cleanup and accurate data as if by them taking this measure, it's going to change millions and millions of people, it's not. It will probably only affect a smaller number of people than it won't. Okay. So now what they could do if they really cared about cleaning up inaccurate data on your credit reports, they would tell you guys about charity care. They would push the sliding scale notion so that you guys don't even have to have these medical collections reported on your credit in the first place. If you guys did not know, during COVID in the CARES Act, they came up with basically, and you can type it in Google, charity care. And charity care is basically a program where if you make at the federal poverty line or less, your medical bills are supposed to be basically wiped out, because if you did it on a sliding scale, I'm sure you probably would not be able to afford the medical bills that you have. Now, if you're a person that you make more than the federal poverty line, that doesn't mean that you don't qualify. Basically, what you would do is call the hospital that you have unpaid bills, and you would ask them, do they have a sliding scale program or do they offer charity care? Basically, the government said that since hospitals are nonprofits, the majority of them are, and we give them money, they have to offer a program to individuals who cannot afford to pay their medical collections versus putting them on your credit. Another thing they did was they extended the time that an individual could place a medical collection on your credit. Instead of after 30 days of reporting, they now made creditors wait an additional 6 months because of COVID. So I'm not saying that the government did not take provisions to try to help, but if they really wanted to help, what they would do is they would talk about the programs that will wipe these bills out. But the reason that they don't, and we all know that, is because they want somebody to pay. All right. So if you did not know, call that hospital that you owe bills to and get that part corrected by applying for their low income programs, their sliding scale programs. Not everybody can afford it. Now, if you are one of those individuals, and I run into a lot of you guys that have this, you say, well, I was covered under Medicaid, or I had coverage under then. I don't know why it's on my credit. Well, if it's on your credit now, unfortunately, there's not going to be too much that you can do. Unless you want to deal with the rigmarole of having to go back through your insurance or your government insurance at that time. And it is a lot of work. You're going to probably have to get printout. You're going to have to call people. It's a lot you have to do. So depending on the amount, it may be better to just settle it. Okay. Depending on the amount, it doesn't work for everyone. Okay. But that's something, because when I look at a lot of you guys' credit, that's one of the things I see a lot. Oh, I had insurance then. I don't know why it's on my, credit report. Some of y'all just let this slide because you got the bills telling you it was going to be on your credit report. Okay. If y'all are starting to get these letters, especially now, because people are hurting right now, guys, do not just sleep on these letters. Do a cease and desist and have them stop contacting you. Do a debt validation so that you can extend the amount of time they have to pursue you while you try to get your finances in order. Because once something hits your credit, it's so much harder to remove it or to undo the damage that was done, that it's better to be proactive when it comes to your credit. And if you don't take nothing else away from me, please take that away. Okay. Last but not least, here, let's get back to this. It says it's also here to improve credit score predictiveness. What does that mean? Basically, what that means is when a person has a credit report, if you're an individual that you see credit all the time, you can tell a lot about an individual. Okay. I see credit all the time. You guys are calling. Y'all need your consultations. Thank you. If you have it and you're interested, hit me up, because I love to go over your credit with you and also tell you about yourself. Okay. Because your credit tells everything. The credit score predictiveness, basically, what they're trying to say is that if medical bills were not included, most individuals' credit scores will be a lot better. That's a fact, okay? Because a lot of individuals' credits are hurting because of medical bills, okay? So it would be easier to tell the type of person this is, or the propensity an individual has to pay their bills, if they remove things that were out of their control. And a lot of times when it comes to medical issues, they're out of your control. You got to go and get help or you're going to die. So if it comes on your credit, it's unfortunate that it's there, but we don't want that to really factor into the character of the person that you are. And if you did not know, your credit score determines your character, which is why I always tell you guys that we need to be prepared and get ready for social credit scores, because basically that's what they've been doing anyway. They're just not calling it that. Your social credit score, the higher score, the more responsible, the less risky an individual is. I mean, the statistics show a lot of things. So this credit score predictiveness, of course it would improve. Now, this is probably more true than anything. If they would have removed your medical bills, something that you did not expect, and we were able to look at your credit for what it really is, minus the medical collections, they could tell a whole lot more about you. Okay. They just say credit score predictiveness, but what they really mean is it would improve character determination. Okay, is what they should put. All right. So let's move on. Okay. It also says that removing medical debt from people's credit reports would help Americans recover financially from medical crisis, stop debt collectors from pressuring people into paying bills they may not even owe, and get rid of data that is said are often plagued with inaccuracies and mistakes. Now, we just talked about that, but I did want to talk about this, where it says stop debt collectors from pressuring people into paying bills they may not even owe. Before you pay any bill, not just medical debt collectors, there are two things I want you guys to do. I want you guys to go and check out your state's financial regulatory office. Okay. They have a list of banned, BANNED, banned debt collectors. You guys may be having someone reported on your credit that may not be able to collect in your state. And because of an inaccuracy, or as they say here, a mistake, you are paying for something or negotiating a bill to someone you may not even have to pay. So you need to check your state's banned debt collectors list. Then the second thing you need to check is, what is my statute of limitations on the debt? You also may not even owe them because the statute of limitations may have ran out. Now, if you are being inundated with calls from debt collectors, that is one of two things is happening. You either just recently got into debt, or you are about to be free from your statute of limitations. Either way, they are trying to capitalize on getting this money back as soon as possible. One, you just went into debt, so you had a history of paying. So they're trying to see if you can salvage the relationship. But then on the other hand, now the statute of limitations is about to run out. So now we can't even sue you when we had the opportunity because we didn't want to. We were trying to save money. For whatever reason, the company decides not to sue. But now they're going to try to harass you to see if they can scare you into paying the debt. But before you do that, you are going to do those two things that Shamika said, okay? Check that banned debt collectors list in your state. It is by state, guys, not the state you opened up your information in. It's going to be the state you're living in now, okay? And you also want to check to make sure you're not paying a time-barred debt, which means you need to search the statute of limitations for debt collection in your state. All right, statute of limitation of debt collection. And let me show you. All right, statute. So all right, somebody put the sue somebody. Same thing, but let's go on the list. All right, so hold on, y'all. I don't like to switch around, but okay, so you see what somebody says, there is no single statute of limitations for one state. Hold on, I don't like that. I'm telling you, I don't know what this new Google thing is doing, and I need my mouse right now. Let me just type in what I should have typed in, and then we'll be good. All right. So right, it is 3 to 6 years. It depends on which state. Okay, I'm not going to go through it, but there is a list of states. Bam. Oh, I guess I am going to go through it because this is my list already. You can see it's been clicked on already. Where are the list of states? I just want y'all to see. Bam, here it is. All right, so really quick, the reason why I wanted to show you is because you need to know which one you need to look at. Is it an oral contract? If you and somebody went into an oral agreement, okay, y'all need to know this because y'all is doing handshake agreements all the time. If it's an oral agreement, here's your statute of limitations to sue. If it's a written contract, which would be your credit cards. Excuse me, I take that wrong. I take that back. Hold on. It can be. Yeah, it can be. It depends. I had to look at it. It can be because it's also promissory notes. So promissory notes can be one too. I would say that probably the promissory note is probably going to be. It's hard to say, y'all. I would have to see. That might be another video to be able to give the difference between written contracts and promissory notes to find out which one is your credit card. Or the debt you have, which one does it fall into? And then they have open-ended debts. On most cases, I'm going to tell you to follow right here on the written contracts. This will be the one that I will tell you guys to go with for now. But I did just get that little idea, so maybe your girl gonna make a video to explain that to y'all, so that it'll be easy to determine. Okay, so those are the two things you need to do: statute of limitations for debt collection, and also the ban debt collectors in your state. Okay, it says medical debt has harmed people's credit scores. It says the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau is announcing plans to remove medical debt from Americans' credit reports and allow millions of people to invest in their futures. But why now, though? Thank you for doing it, but should have doing this. This is something that everybody should have had the opportunity to have, the option to be able to invest in their futures. And how do you invest in your futures? By buying a home, having a car, going to school, getting an education. Basically, they are going to free you up from debt to get into more debt. Okay, invest. The only way you can invest is it's going to take some type of financial transaction. So, that's the world we live in. If you got to pay to play. But I'm just letting you know that they're not doing this because they want your credit scores to go up. Only they want your credit scores to go up so that you now can go apply for more credit and invest. Hopefully, you're going to do the right thing and go to school or get that higher degree, so now you can make more money, buy a home, or I don't even want to say a car is an investment, but it just depends on the type of car. But get your rental property, those type of things. If you're going to get into debt, those are the type of debt you want to get into versus taking the medical collections off of your credit only to boost your score so that you can go and get more credit cards. See, that is what I'm trying to let you guys see. They are definitely playing us like we don't see it, but that's what it all boils down to. This is for the banks, not for the government. Okay. And here goes our wonderful president looking like he's saying, I don't even think he remembered what he's saying. And I don't either. All right. So let me keep moving on here. Okay. And I don't have a problem with Joe or anybody else. I just love making jokes because he grandpa. Okay. It says that CFPB report shows last year, 20% of Americans say they have medical debt. Duh. It says it was a situation made worse by COVID-19. I'm sure it was exacerbated by COVID-19, but let me tell you something, guys. We have always had debt on credit. Okay. If you are middle to low income, you have some form of something. Not everybody, a large majority, and I'm sure it's more than 20% that have some type of medical debt on their credit report. All right. I even got a bill for glasses. And I'm like, I get free vision at the VA. Why do I have $100 bill I owe someone? You know what I'm saying? But if I'm not careful, that'll end up on my credit report. And that's a mistake. That's inaccurate. But something just as simple and as small as that, which is why we can't just throw things in the garbage. We got to be proactive. Okay. All right. It says research shows that medical bills have little predictive value in credit decisions. I disagree. And let me tell you why. I disagree with this because yes, medical bills are unexpected. Okay. Any type of illness is unexpected, but you can tell a lot about a person when they don't have insurance. And the majority of people who have items on their credit for medical collections, it's because they don't have insurance or they're underinsured. So what does that mean? That means they're probably low to middle. They're low to middle income. I can tell you the type of neighborhoods they live in. I could tell you what their range of their credit scores usually are going to be. I could tell you if they're going to have student loans and if they have the propensity to be in debt, file bankruptcy, and get in debt again. Statistics show this already. So I know they are lying when they say research shows that medical bills have little predictive value in credit decisions. And maybe it's a play on words. So maybe it doesn't have little maybe it does have little value in credit decisions, but it has great value in determining the type of the character of the person you are lending money to. So in turn, doesn't that affect the credit decision? Y'all tell me, am I reading too much into this? Because I'm high right now. So am I reading too much into this? I don't think so. But this is the type of things that I think they hide in the fine print. And this is exactly why I have to take these articles and break them down bit by bit, especially when they're talking about credit, because they do not tell the whole truth. Okay. So we see that is not true. It has a huge effect in predicting credit decisions. Try to get an apartment and have $10,000 in medical collections. Try even $3,000 and see if you'll be able to get an apartment. Okay. So it has a lot of value in credit decisions. It says, yet tens of millions of American households are dealing with medical debt on their credit reports. You know why? Because you guys allowed them to report on it. Okay, that's why you allowed them to report unpaid medical collections. And now you're saying it has little to predictive value, but I pay my rent on time every month. That has a huge predictive value of telling you what I think is important and how I prioritize my creditors. Rent needs to be paid first. The car needs to be paid second. Light, all those things, second, third, all that. So they allow medical debts to come on your credit and trash your credit, but then they won't put the things on your credit that should be valued on there. And then they're turning around right here. Y'all see it. It says it has research shows medical bills have little predictive value in credit decisions. And yet you still let them report on there. So this is why when they say Biden is trying to use this and create this measure, I say he's only doing it because they need a vote. They need your vote. Okay. Let's keep going. It says when someone gets sick, they should be able to focus on getting better. I agree. It says rather than fighting debt collectors trying to extort them into paying bills they may not even owe. I also agree. But removing these from your credit won't stop that. That is what I want you guys to get. Y'all see how they're playing on words? They are making as if the medical collections going away from your credit means it's going away from your life. That is not true. That is misleading. And I feel like, when y'all go out to these rallies, make the president or make one of these people explain this in a little bit more depth to explain how this is not helpful to us like y'all trying to paint this picture. Yeah, my credit score will look good, but my phone's still ringing all night long. Make it make sense, guys. CFPB, if you're watching, make it make sense. All right, it says if passed, the new bill will stop consumer credit companies from including only non-medical information. Now, I had to read that about 4 times when I first did it because I'm like, wait a minute, why do they have to say it like that? But it says it would stop consumer credit companies from including only non-medical information in reports used by creditors when deciding on borrowers' applications. So basically, they're saying if it's passed, they only want these companies to include other items. It could be other collections. It could be your regular credit, but it'll be everything except medical bills. Now, why didn't they just say that? Right? Y'all see this? It would stop credit companies from including only non-medical information. Huh? Is that even proper English? Now, y'all know I speak a little bit of Ebonics, so y'all got to let me know. Is that proper English? Because that doesn't even sound right to me, okay? And then let's get back here to the first 2 words of the sentence. If passed, that's what y'all need to know. Like my friend says, if was a fifth, we'd all be drunk. This is why I don't really like to talk about things like this. It's because I like to wait until things get passed versus talking about stuff that may or may not, because all it does is take us on this emotional roller coaster. And y'all know I don't like my emotions played with, and I don't like to play with y'all. But since you guys want more content, I'm going to talk about all of the so-called if was a fifth, rules that should or could be coming down. So, we heard Joe Biden say that, hey, if Congress and the House agrees, we can knock out $10,000 of all your student loans. But it never happened. So although this is a great gesture, holla at me once it's passed, sir. Okay? Because y'all keep playing with us and we tired of it. Okay? All right. It says excluding medical debt from the calculation of credit scores could offer a much needed boost. This is very, very, very true for Americans living paycheck to paycheck. Now look at this, y'all. Come on. Did y'all not see how they playing on your emotions? Excluding medical debt from the calculation of credit scores could offer a much need boost for Americans living paycheck to paycheck. Why would it give a needed boost for Americans living paycheck to paycheck? It says who found themselves financially strapped from outsized health bills. So basically, read between the lines. If we can boost your credit score, you are going to take out more debt because we don't want you living paycheck to paycheck because of medical bills. We don't want you to be financially strapped because of medical bills. Removing medical bills from your credit does not put more money back in your bank account. Okay? So listen to what they are not saying. And what they are not saying is if we can boost your credit score, we will give a false sense of security to these banks. Well, they will now extend you lines of credit that you don't need because you're already financially strapped. You're already living paycheck to paycheck, but we don't really care about that because we really want to break the economy. So we're just going to give you more and more and more credit so you can stay deeper in debt. You'll never achieve. You'll never move up. you'll never invest in your future because you were too busy investing in Victoria's Secret. You were too busy investing in lace fronts and in a nail shop and in Nike. And that's no shade to anybody, but this is the kind of stuff I want y'all to see, that this is what they're really saying or thinking about us. This is why they make these rules this way, because this is how they see us. Why? Because we give them these patterns. The statistics are not made up, y'all. They are based off of what we do. So I'm glad that they may do this, but I hate it for a lot of people because I already do bankruptcies. Okay, I already do the petition paperwork for y'all. I just know I'm going to be doing a whole lot more because you're going to be even more in debt. Okay, but let's move on. I digress. It says at the same time, it's unlikely to dwarf other economic concerns in 2024, especially inflation, that are likely to motivate voters in financially precarious positions. Now, let's go on this. It says it's unlikely to dwarf other economic concerns. Of course not. It's not gonna dwarf other economic concerns, because what you guys aren't telling people is that you're doing this to give them a false sense of security so they can go out and get more credit. But they don't see it that way, so it's not gonna dwarf anything. Nobody's economic concerns are gonna be raising their credit scores right now because they're not thinking about that. And then if you raise my credit score, I ain't thinking about the government because I'm too busy trying to apply for credit cards so I can go shopping, so I can go on a cruise, so I can go to Dubai. Okay? And they got time. It's gonna be time. We don't know when this is gonna happen, but they got time. Y'all got another hot girl summer coming up. Okay, the election ain't until next year anyway. Okay, so let's move on. It says if approved, if was a fifth, but if approved, the proposal could turn into another move from the Biden administration, which would rally voters, around the president's campaign for 2024. Do y'all see how they playing us? Do y'all see how they are? Do you see it? It says if approved, it could turn it into a tactic. Let's remove all this. Let's redo this sentence. If this bill is approved, Biden can use this as a tactic to get more voters for the Democrats in the upcoming 2024 election. Bam. I need to be a writer for the newspaper, y'all, because I'm going to tell the truth, and I'm not giving all this fluff like they're doing. Let me move on. I'm going to almost be done. It says the move, which would help borrowers by possibly increasing their credit score. Ain't no possibly. See how they lying, y'all? Y'all know it's going to increase your credit score, but let me say this now. If the medical bills are old and they've been on there for 4-5 years, once they come off, they're probably not going to increase your score. It's probably going to go down because it's old. Okay. But they could explain that if they taught credit education, but they don't. Okay. So that's why they use words like possibly increasing your credit score, because they know what you don't. But Shamika just told you, the longer something stays in your credit, whether it's good or bad, once it's removed, it's always bad when it comes to your credit because you're losing history. Okay, look at it like a family member. Even if you got a foster child or a stepbrother and stepsister, y'all still family, and and y'all grow up in the house together and you're close. If that person were to go back to their other family, would y'all not be sad? Now, we ain't getting no family drama, but most of y'all would be sad. So sad is bad. Bad means derogatory. Derogatory is what they put on your credit report. So to me, that's how I explain something that's that decreases, to explain why your score decreases instead of increasing when you finish doing something. Okay, that's why your credit scores are going down when you pay your car loan off, because you don't had that car between 5 and 7 years. And now it's no longer factored into this credit scoring decision. So your score is sad. So it drops. Okay. All right. So that part is true. So it says it can possibly increase your score to make it easier for them to get a mortgage, up, debt, and buy a home, up, debt, or own a small business, up, debt. And it says it has been celebrated by many on social media. I bet who? People in the Biden administration or your followers. Okay. So I'm not saying I don't want you guys to do anything. So remember what I told y'all. These are the things that you're supposed to do to invest. You go a mortgage, you get a home, you get a small business. All of those things are requiring taking a loan. Even if you go to school, y'all taking a student loan. So as long as you're going to your uncle, Sam, he's my uncle too. As long as you're going to get money from him, they're always going to look at it as a plus. That is what they consider investing in your future. Now, you can look at it that way. I do. But it has everything to do with your mindset and the plan that you execute when you're doing it. Okay. If you're going to use your student loan money, not because you need to go and buy wigs and get your hair done, but because you're going to take that money that you get every month and buy cars and put them on Turo, or you're going to take that money and save it because you're going to put that down on a house, or you are using that as your money to rehab, an investment property. I mean, there are so many things that you could do with a student loan money. If you have the plan, you can flip it into basically like having a sugar daddy, ladies. Somebody's giving you money every 2 months, and you got to figure out what to do with it. And then most of us, if you've ever had one, I know I have, I blew that money because I was too dumb. I didn't know what to do. But let me have the opportunity to do that right now. Okay. I would definitely invest my money completely different because I'm wiser now. So if you are not hip to the game, y'all better start letting your Uncle Sam give you that money, be that sugar daddy that you never thought you could have. He don't never tell you no. He don't even care about your credit score, especially if you're using it for student loans. And you get an education while you're at it. Okay. Now, yes, you do end up in debt. Let's not forget that. But if you have a plan, you also have a plan to take care of that payment. All right. Moving on. It says, this is a huge deal to millions of patients. Medical debt should have never been impacting our credit in the first place. That's the most true statement in this whole damn article. It should have never been on your credit in the first place. It says, and yet it's kept so many of us from getting the homes, cars, and security we deserve. Now that I agree with. What are we gonna do? Okay, I don't want them to use this just as a tactic to get my vote. This should be something that you want to do because you really care that we are able to get things or not get things that we have not been able to because we've been stripped of that right because medical bills have been on our credit and being reported unfairly. All right. And let me see this last thing. It says, including medical debt on credit reports disproportionately harms disabled people, particularly disabled women of color. I mean, you can be anything of color and it's a handicap, unfortunately. Okay. So I'm not surprised to see that it harms disabled women of color, but I agree with that. You are, and like I said, I talk to you guys, I look at your credit reports, and yes, I have people who are on Social Security disability, and I promise you, unpaid medical bills have kept them from getting a place to live. That is not fair, and it should not come until the 2024 election for someone to now say, and hold on, let me switch back over because now I want to say my little piece, okay? But it should not take, a Biden campaign, to have to get some justice done for things that they should have been doing for us in the first damn place. Okay. And then let me add that if I'm not mistaken, I believe Obama tried to do something with our medical bills. The CARES Act, that was under the Trump administration. So everybody's been trying to do something. My thing is why hasn't it been done? And you know why? Because I believe in some form of fashion that the banks were using people who had medical collections on their credit. It was a way to identify who they did not want to give money to. And now this is going to give such a false sense of security that I'm actually concerned of what's going to happen in the economy because everybody and their mama is probably going to go out and get some form of credit. And it doesn't even matter if it's a student loan, if it's a loan for your business, or if it's a mortgage loan. You are still going to the bank and asking, just like they did when they gave the stimulus check, which is why they call it the stimulus check, because it stimulates the economy. Most people don't even know it's called income. The economic impact payment, but they call it stimulus for short because they know what the money's going to do as soon as it gets in your hands. And the same thing is going to happen here, guys. So I hope that this gets passed. Y'all tell me what you think. Do you guys hope that this gets passed? Will it boost your credit score? Okay, for those who have medical collections. Now, y'all saw what I explained about it being on there a long time. Your score may go down. So put below if your score, if they were to take those collections off your credit right now, would your score go up or down? Have they been on there that long? Okay. And if they've been on there that long and you respond that your score is going to go down, did you call the hospital and ask about charity care? Did you call the hospital and ask them about the sliding scale? If you have not, you should, because you probably have collections on your credit that shouldn't even be there. I do have a testimonial. She's probably not going to say it because I haven't talked to her in a while, but we got 39 39 medical collections removed from a credit report just by applying for that program. They have been on there forever, okay? But they got removed because this person qualified for a program she didn't even know existed, all right? And again, just like we read in this article, and you see how they play on words, it's a little bit of semantics, and it's a lot of things out there that they know that you don't know. This is why you definitely need to tune into this channel, because I'm always going to give you what they don't give. And that's the god dang on truth, okay? That's what I'm giving you, okay? I'm giving you the god dang on truth and the whole picture, not some of it. Scores may go down. Be mindful that if you are not financially savvy or intelligent, okay, and you're still being ruled and reeled in by your emotions, you are going to be one of those individuals that are going to end up in debt because you are going to go and extend yourself credit, which is what the banks want, okay? And if you are one of those individuals, please think about what you own, a car, a house, because if you're not going to be able to pay it, you may have to give those things up if you file bankruptcy, depending on how much debt you're in. You know what I'm saying? It's possible. And y'all know I love using bankruptcy as a tool. So, but I just want y'all to think, don't go out there and get yourself super heavy in debt. And then now you got to turn something back in, all because these medical collections got removed. And remember, the majority of the people that this plagues are middle to low income. That's the group that has the least amount of financial intelligence. So people are going to get into debt. Is it going to be you? So I hope y'all enjoyed this. Please tell me what y'all think. Okay, this was a little longer than I thought, but now I see why, because I got to go through line by line. Was it too long? Did you not like it? Did you learn something? Did you love it? Is your score going to go up or down? Let me see. Are you going to do the charity care? I got a whole bunch of questions. I want y'all to at least answer one of them. No, give me two. Okay. And again, if you're new to this channel, please like, subscribe, share this with somebody, because I'm not just going to give you no celebrity drama, because I don't care about that. I'm giving you stuff that's affecting you in your daily life at home when you close the door and you be crying or you be stressed out. I make videos for you. Okay. So talk to you guys soon. Be blessed. See you next time. Bye. Look, I can't even turn the thing off yet. I'm getting there. See y'all. Bye.